Hi YouTube, this is Candace from Counseling Minus the Bull, and I'm back today with another video. So this video, I just wanted to specifically point out something that I do personally for myself. I have already shared that I do go to counseling to help with my stress load, and just to get my ideas out and kind of help with someone putting my thoughts together, because my mind is always multitasking. So I just wanted to share something that I started doing, and it's a tip that can be used, and it can be used for something that is considered to be self-care. And I know I preach this in pretty much every video, but I will continue to push it because it's definitely needed. So the tip is journaling. So when we go back to cognitive behavior therapy, part of one of the techniques is journaling. And I have my handy dandy journal. I am actually very fortunate to have like a close knit school, and as well as classmates. My journal, as you can see, it's pink. Is given to me by my classmate, and the journal I had previously before that was also given by another classmate. And it goes back to these groups that we have in our classes, where we have group and it's actually therapeutic for us, and we're disclosing things that are triggers and some things that happen in our life, and you just really built this bond with your classmates because you're using this opportunity to get to know them personally. And yeah, with that, I've built relationships, and yeah, and also I get gifts. So with that, I just wanted to share what I have started doing with journaling. Pretty much, I did the first page as my name. I put my nickname. It's personalized to me. I put the date that I actually started this. It just really came to mind because, with everything going on, everything is closed, everything is shut down. And I wanted to actually get back into this. One of my professors, my favorite professor, actually told me, because I was writing poems as a child, that she would like me to get back into journaling. And I was like, So here I am months later, and actually maybe a year or so later, accepting the challenge. And so what I basically did was put the date, put my nickname, personalize it to myself. The second page, I actually put a little note for myself. It says, write it down, process it, own it, change it. And then I have the hearts. And then I just have like a few things that, a few topics that I wanted to just be aware for myself, and kind of recognize some patterns that I see within myself, some behaviors, some things, some ways I handle things. Because if you're aware of yourself, and if you're aware of your patterns, if you can't admit them, if you can work on them every day, if you can write it down, then you can start working on it. You can start changing it. You can bring forth and manifest exactly what you are trying to accomplish. So the first topic I wrote down, and I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to put my answer. So the first topic I put things that anger me. So I know in the other videos, we were talking about anger. And then I also mentioned in that video, anger hostility log. And in that log, you're just writing down some of the triggers that makes you angry. You can write down in that log how you handle the situation. So do you yell? Do you scream? Do you hit people? Do you break things? And then you can also write down better ways to handle it. So for me, I just wanted to write down some things that I noticed that really gets me from 0 to 100. And with all honesty, like I said, I want to keep it personal. It's via YouTube, it's via internet. So to kind of make this a little bit more personable, I want to just incorporate some self-disclosure and tell you about me. So my answer to this, road rage, number one. Number one, road rage. I can work on that. Not feeling appreciated, that's a big thing to me. If I'm really like trying my best and putting my effort, putting my time, and I don't really have that balance in the first place, then and I recognize that maybe it's not being received or it's just not being appreciated. It's just really something that will get me upset. Bad communication. I am very verbal about how I feel. And so if I feel like maybe it's not listening or the message is not coming across, that's something as well. So that's just 3. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For the video's sake, I'll just do 3 each. So my next topic is things to trigger me. Now that's a difference. Now things that anger me means 0 to 100 quickly. Now things that trigger me is, okay, I'm starting to notice that my buttons is being pushed, and here's why. And it really has to go back to, you can think about your childhood, you could think about past relationships. It can be something that's pressing now that's going on, and that kind of triggers you. But for me, I just put down disrespect in any shape or form. I am very emotional, so if someone was to bring up anything about my family that I don't agree with or anything of that nature, that's not something else that triggers me. And any form of abuse triggers me as well. So I put room to grow. So that means things that I'm working on. And that's attitude, that's patience, that's my road rage that I mentioned. That's what I mentioned. So this area, just like improvements for yourself. And this is important, like just to be honest with yourself. So when you're looking in the mirror and you're like, this is me, like this is me. If you are hearing the same thing from different people, then maybe it just may be accurate. And you also can recognize within yourself that you have areas that you can improve, and being able to admit it and to have that ownership that's miraculous right there. That's the start of it all. So just being honest with yourself. And then my next topic is do not feel bad. So we did the video about making healthy boundaries, and we talked about allowing yourself to feel how you feel, putting yourself first, prioritizing, keeping your peace of mind. And so for me, some things I wrote down was do not feel bad for saying no. I do not mind saying no anymore, but I usually feel bad about it. So I'm telling myself, do not feel bad for saying no. Do not feel bad for distancing yourself for a peace of mind. Do not feel bad for feeling how you feel. And I'm really big on that nowadays. I want to be able to feel how I feel and to process it and to move on. And that's something we talked about in that video as well. It's okay to feel how you feel, but it's also more important to get past how you feel. So the next topic is my strengths. I think this is the category I have the most. So I have a lot of things about myself. I'm organized, I'm on time, I'm dependable, I'm smart. The list goes on. And this is good too, like strength-based counseling. You want to recognize what you're good at. It's really easy to point out what we're not good at, but it's even harder to recognize that you are good at something, at some things. If it's not one thing, then it's another thing. And if you can't think of anything, it can be something simple. You can have a nice smile. You can have the best wave. You can have the best just spirit, the best communication, smart. You can draw. You're very social and it's easy for you to meet people. So it can be a lot of things, even if it's just a simple thing. So remember, keep it simple, keep it realistic, and to turn all of those irrational thoughts, all of those negative thoughts, use your self-talk, and that's just positive affirmations about yourself to point out that there is some good in you. There is some good qualities. There are some strengths that you possess. Watch this. So my next one is continue to work on. So just like I did strengths, a lot of people will refer to this one as weakness. I do not claim a weakness because we have already did the topic room to grow, meaning we have already acknowledged that we have some improvements that we can make. So this one, continue to work on, is, oh, I've already acknowledged it, but I want to continue to work on it so I can change this behavior. I can change these thoughts. I can change how I feel. And I put just 3 things briefly. Continue to work on balancing everything: school, work, family, personal life. Continue to deep breathe. That's a technique that's magical to me. It helps with my anger, gives me that moment to just calm down and to think before I react, or to think before I talk. And then patience, continue to work on my patience and to continue to grow as a person. I just really created this topic, the next one, and it's things to stress me out. I don't even have to look at this page for this one. So we did the video feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, feeling tired, experiencing panic attacks, and we've kind of talked about relaxation techniques and things in that video, so feel free to go back. But for this one, I wrote down finances, of course. I wrote down balance. I wrote down school. And those are just 3 prime examples. So we also talked about in that video stress, anxiety, panic attacks, how you can create like a jar. You can use a shoebox and write down your stress on a piece of paper. And then with the jar or the shoebox, you can create like a slit in the jar and just put that piece of paper that you wrote your stresses down on, put it in the box. Put it in the box. So it's symbolic of you taking that stress, taking that load off you and off your mind, putting it in the box. And then if you wanted to give yourself a timeline of, let's say, a month later, to see, have you been working on it? Are you still stressed about it? Have it worked out? Because when it comes to stress, most of the things we worry about never happens. So you can go back to that box. That never happened. That never even happened. that was the worst scenario. And you can kind of put that in perspective that most things you worry about never happens. You can see, have you worked on that behavior or that belief? If the shoebox in the jar doesn't fit, we also talked about just writing it down and ripping it up. But for me, journaling is very good for me. Just writing it down, seeing it. And writing down, seeing it helps me to remember, helps me to reflect, help me to work on things. So whatever works for you, everything is tailored and customized to you and your love and your growth and your healing. And I just wanted to make this video more personable and just give you another tip for self-care, for journaling, also to give you some insight on my own life, on how I am applying the same thing that I am telling you into my everyday life. So just don't take my word, but you actually see that this is something that I do for my own journey, for my own love, growth, and healing with Counseling Minus the Bull. So I hope that this is something that can help you. If not, then thanks for listening. Thanks for watching once again. And feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to comment and give me feedback. If you want me to do a topic, please let me know. If you want me to do something more in detail, please let me know. Please remember to be vague in the comments for confidentiality reasons. And yeah, I'll see you next time.